Hello everyone, welcome to another video. It is me, Desiree. I forgot to do an intro for my garden tour, so here I am. I had already had my pajamas on and I switched into this shirt really quickly, so yeah, that's that. But anyway, this video is going to be a little tour of my garden. I filmed this yesterday morning. It's going to be a voiceover. It was a little bit windy and I could hear it in the video. Also, I was very embarrassed. If you remember my first garden tour, I thought I was going to throw up. I was so nervous to film. Nobody was out there watching me, but I could just, in my head, there was an audience behind me. I don't know. So I filmed a voiceover, and also I couldn't remember every name of every plant in the moment, so I thought it would be better this way. But this is going to be my third season with this garden. Not all of the plants are, have been here for 3 years. Some of them have. I think most of the ones in the front yard have. But hopefully you enjoy. I'm new to gardening, but it's fun, and I thought it would just be a nice fun video to throw in to Houseplant Appreciation Month. And I think this was a request. I think this was on the community tab when I was asking for ideas or stuff you wanted me to talk about. Am I making that up? I'm sure somebody requested it. Either way, it was fun for me to film, and yeah, enjoy. Okay, let's start on the south side of the house. We have an avocado plant. My boyfriend's been growing from a seed. Some little shishito peppers I haven't planted yet. We'll see if they get in the ground. I don't know. This garden bed here, I really want to redo it. It floods a lot because the water just pours off of the roof really easily when it rains and stuff, and this just gets messed up. All the mulch blew away last year, but I planted some Mexican primrose there. It's supposed to be a ground cover. This one, I cannot remember the name of it. I bought it on clearance at Lowe's, and I'm surprised it came back. Another one I don't know the name of, but it's got these pretty little flowers. It came back. All of these are perennials. This one is my hibiscus. I know it doesn't look like much, but I really want to dig this one up and put it in a pot so I can put it in the sun a little more and a little control the watering. That one there I think is called Gay Feather. This one I feel is some sort of sage. I don't know. I forgot the names of most of these, but look at those pretty little flowers. They're so sweet. I love that red and white. That one's called Goldenrod. I love that one. And then that one over there, some other little guy that I can't believe came back. I don't know. But I wanted this little section to be all like drought tolerant perennials. But then I put the hibiscus there, which is kind of a bog plant. I really want to redo that part though. The porch, don't mind it. These are some cosmos that grew on their own. They are really pretty. They have tons of pretty flowers, but they filled, I don't know where they came from. They just started growing. They were everywhere. They're growing all in the ground, in the rocks, in the hard dirt, through the cement. I guess some would consider it a weed. I mean, I threw in some other seeds here to kind of grow some other stuff. Some of them are coming up. The cosmos were all right here in the dirt. They were all down the pathway here too. I had to pull a lot of them out. They were filling in the whole side of the garden bed. But I wanted to plant some other stuff here, so I ripped all of them out, as much as it hurt my heart. Right here I have some chamomile or some lemon balm. I think I planted both there. I think these are weeds, most of the things that are coming up, but some of them are bound to be the herbs that I planted. I also put cilantro and dill right here, but mostly what's coming up are the morning glories. Oh my goodness. Unless you want an invasion of morning glories. I mean, they look good when they're up there on the little banister, but they will come back on their own and with full force. So I like the way they look, but they kind of choke everything out too. But let's go look at this other side here. This is, I think this old tree was called a trumpet vine. It used to get a couple of blooms here and there, but it eventually just died. It's been here since we moved in. The pergola also like shakes in the wind. It needs to be replaced, I think, but my dream is to have the honeysuckle grow up all of this dead tree. I think it would look so cool. I don't know. It looks cool. It's taken a long time, but then when I was watering it this morning, there was like a lot of dead stuff here. I don't know what happened to it. Maybe it's a fungus, but I do need to take all these leaves out that are right here. Maybe that's what's, I don't know, doing something. But here's a little viburnum snowball bush that I lovingly call Lil Grandma. My grandma bought this for me last year, I think, or was it even the year before? And it's coming back. I feel like I need to water it more often, but it's doing okay. This one I think is some sort of sage plant. And then that one back there is a proven winner's. Oh, penstemon? I think it just came to me. I think it's a penstemon. That one's also a perennial. And then over here, I planted some hostas. None of them came up because once I buried them and put the mulch back on, I completely forgot where they were. So I don't know where to water. So if they come back, they come back. But I don't know. No idea. Over here, we have the tomato patch. Well, there's a jalapeno my boyfriend overwintered. It's doing well. It's looking kind of sticky, but some of the peppers are growing on it. So that's from last year. And then here we have 6 tomato plants. Usually the tomato plants fill in this whole area, but I think he's going to plant something else there. I think these are Arkansas Traveler. I think. I'll have to double check the tag on that one. Arkansas Traveler. Let's see. Yeah, that's what that one is. That's the best tomato I've ever tasted in my life. These ones here I think were Cherokee Carbon. Never tried that one. They also broke in the wind. There was a bunch of wind one evening, so he put these like pieces of wood here to hold it up, and it did well. It came back. It didn't completely crack in half, and there's just some old soil from a pot. These are some potatoes in a grow bag. They're doing okay. The potatoes I put in the ground are growing way better, but this is that grow bag I got on Temu, so we'll see. This is a little berry bush. I don't remember which one. It's probably a blueberry or a raspberry or something. It's supposed to be like a small shrub. And then one of my favorite plants, yarrow here. I love yarrow. I think this is Firefly Peach Sky from Proven Winners. And then this little area here, I just threw a bunch of mulch because right here where I'm pointing, that's the only soil over to the right. The rest of it is like the plastic thing for the sprinkler system and just cement. So I covered it up because I thought it would look a little nicer, but you can't really plant anything there. And then this here is probably my favorite section on this side of the house. These are all perennials, drought tolerant, pollinator type things. I love these. A lot of them I got on clearance at Lowe's at the end of last season, and they're all doing really well. This one here is called a walking onion. It is so cool. We got this at a garden tour sometime, actually like 2 years ago now. They were giving them away, so we put it in the ground and it grew, it established, and it's so beautiful. It grows these amazing little like seed heads, and then when they fall, they replant and then they'll grow another plant. I haven't been letting any of them do that because I don't want it to get like taken over, and I love the way this looks. It looks like it belongs in a fairy tale or something. It's so cool, alien-like. I love it so much. Definitely one of my favorite plants in the whole yard. This one I think is called a Jupiter's Beard. That one took off this spring. It's doing really well. That purple one there I think is another sage. I completely forgot the name of that one. But I did get a lot of these plants at Lowe's when they were on clearance. If you find good perennials on the clearance rack, most of the time, if they have a little green on them, they'll come back for you. So that's where most of these came from. That's one of my favorite plants too, the Russian sage. Ugh, such a beautiful plant. Got that one on clearance as well. And I cut it all the way to the ground earlier in the spring and it came back. Look how beautiful this lavender looks. Isn't this amazing? That like tight green ball with all the little spikes coming out. This one here, a dianthus or a little carnation plant. So cute. It stays green all winter. It's amazing. I love that plant a lot. I keep trying to get my boyfriend to let me make boutonnieres for him, but he says no. That's a butterfly bush. And back there, another yarrow. Love this little spot so much. A lot of drought tolerant stuff as well. All perennials. And then over here, I planted some garlic and onions, but I can't remember which one are garlic and which one are onions. I thought I would just remember, so I didn't label them. But the other day I went in and I pulled one of these out, and I couldn't tell if it was a garlic or an onion. I couldn't tell if it was a really small onion or a big garlic. But look at this one here. Look how big that one is. It's getting a flower. I don't know if that's supposed to happen. But I did plant these in the fall, so I don't know. And look at these. These are the other potatoes that I planted. They're doing so much better than the ones in the grow bag. These are doing great. I don't remember what kind these are. I think one of them is a Yukon Gold. Just like kind of those fun varieties that you find at the store, like the seed potatoes. And then this here is a raised bed. I don't remember the name of the company that sent this to me. Crap, I can't remember the name of it, but they did send this to me. I love it. We still use it. These are some strawberries from last year that came back. There's one strawberry on there, and then there's two little berry bushes. That one there, and this one. This one, that one, and the other one in that red pot from earlier we bought at the same time. We'll see if they do anything. They're supposed to be kind of smaller bushes. And then here we have some beans and, of course, morning glories everywhere. I am going to pull a lot of them out. But there's some little beans back there. There's some pole beans, so they should kind of trellis up on the fence, hopefully. There's another one there. There's some scattered beans here, some bush beans. And then just a lot of morning glory. I mean, this thing will seed itself everywhere. It's mixed in with some seeds we actually planted, so I'm going to wait till they grow a little bigger to make sure that's what they are. But I feel like I know that plant well enough to know those are morning glories. This one is, I want to say it's a blackberry bush. It's on the obelisk that I also got from Temu. It's doing well. The canes are doing good. It's growing back, and it's looking kind of full there at the bottom. Hopefully it does something this year. Didn't do anything last year because we just bought it like in the fall time. And then here are some watermelons. I don't remember all the kinds we planted. Of course, lots of morning glories spread out too, but there are some watermelon seeds coming up. And yeah, a lot of morning glories. They will choke out your plants too, so if you don't want them, pull them out. Also, unless you want them to take over, don't ever plant them. Anyway, at the back of the fence here, I planted sunflowers and zinnias, like alternating them. And I thought that would look really pretty as a nice little flower hedge there against the fence. And then the morning glory, of course, will climb up the fence. It usually covers the whole fence by the end of the season. And my neighbor really likes it too, so I'm not too worried about it. It is a pain to take it off, though, at the end of the season. And then down here, we planted something called a dino melon. I've only ever seen this melon at Albertsons. It's kind of like a honeydew melon. I was going to say honeydew and cantaloupe mixed together, but it's so good. We saved a lot of the seeds from the fruit we bought last year and the year before and tried to grow it. And last year we did grow a few, which is pretty cool. They didn't really get too big because we planted them kind of late, but there are a lot growing up in the little bed here, and I'm really excited to see what they do this time. We didn't start them from seed and grow them. We just kind of threw them in the ground to see what they do. I also planted, well, that's probably a weed. I usually like to see if the weeds get flowers and if they're pretty before I pull them out. Or if they're invasive, I'll pull them out. But a lot of sunflowers and a lot of zinnias sprouted on their own from last year and the year before. And then over here are some squash. I planted a pumpkin right here. Yep, that's a pumpkin. I got a spaghetti squash, yellow squash, and zucchini. I feel like there's a different squash in there too, but I didn't label it because, I just thought I would remember. There are also a lot of 4 o'clocks here because this whole little bed, this little corner here, used to be 4 o'clocks. And it's this really beautiful bush that will just come back every single year. And I got to pull a lot of them out because I decided to squash there this year and it will take over. But here's a little overview of the whole side. I can't wait for it to fill in and look really beautiful and lovely. So let's go to the front yard. There's another dianthus there. There's a Gara, a Helen von Stein lamb's ear, one of my favorite plants ever, ever, ever. I really want to redo this front area and pull out some of these rocks because, I don't know, it's okay for xeriscaping, but I really want to fill it in with some beautiful plants. And I have to show you the blooms on the Helen von Stein lamb's ear. They're so weird and cool. I love this little fuzzy plant. It survived the winter. I couldn't believe it. Grasshopper. There's a grasshopper. That's not good. And then all these wild poppies. They're all over the neighborhood. I love them so much. The neighbor told us to pull them out, but I like them. And then this is the front garden bed. This was the first one I ever planted. I did it when we moved in 3 years ago. And all the plants are doing well. This here, again, one of my favorite plants ever, the Russian sage. I do cut this about 3 inches from the ground at the beginning of spring. And it grows fresh every year. I love it so much. Back here is a salvia. I don't remember the name of it. Can't remember the name, but it's actually a lot bigger than it used to be. This one here is a sedum that I also can't remember the name of. An English lavender that I love. This one also stays green all year round. all winter. It's beautiful. Back there, I think, is the pink profusion salvia from Proven Winners. Here are some Asiatic lilies that I thought were dead and not just like dormant. I could swear I pulled those out of the ground because I thought they were dead. I don't know. They grew back though. This is one of my favorites. It's Nepeta or catmint. It's so pretty. This here is some milkweed that I grew from seed a couple of years ago. It's coming back. But all these bare spots here, I did put seeds earlier in the spring and none of them sprouted. I don't know. This one here I think is a Mexican sage, if I'm not mistaken. Another beautiful sedum. What the heck is the name of that sedum? A columbine that he's doing his best. I don't know. And then keeping an eye on things, we have R2D2 as a rustic. Don't look at my dirty porch. Do not look at my front porch. I never use it. We never use the porch, so I have no incentive to clean it. But now that I'm editing this video, I'm like, oh, yikes. Anyway, here are some echinacea that I grew from seed. They grew back. They're doing great. A little tiny not coneflower. What is that one called? Bachelor's buttons. They used to be all down here and they were so pretty. I want to plant them again. This is another yarrow. I'm just a sucker for yarrow. It's so pretty. And then my little containers up front, they don't really do anything. I put a bunch of bulbs in here. The bulbs grew back, but they never flowered. So I threw some seeds in here earlier in the spring. Some nasturtium and stuff. They're not doing much. I don't know. These pots have never really done a lot, but I really want to do something with this front yard. Take these rocks out, plant some more stuff, or add some little more garden beds. I don't know. It's a lot of work, though. There's a lot of landscape rocks there, but here's a little overview of the front. Hate that hose, by the way. And over to the backyard. I can't wait for all this to fill in. Well, that is it. I really want to redo the side house garden, the one I was saying the water pours down really hard on it. I really want to redo that, and I wanted to do it yesterday, but the day got away from me. But I am kind of feeling like, you know what? I changed my clothes to do this intro. Maybe I'll go start working on it, like at least getting the mulch off and like the rocks and redoing the soil a little bit. At least like do it in pieces, you know, because I really want to do that. But anyway, that is it. Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe so you don't miss my next one, and I will see you later in another video. Goodbye.